guys, and good morning. Welcome back to our channel. If you are new here, welcome. We are Trekking with the Castros. We are a homeschool family with 4 kiddos, and we travel as often as we can. It is a huge desire and passion of my husband and I's to bring our kids with us when we travel and to just share with them other cultures and the deep history and arts and everything all these other countries have to offer and other states in the US. So today I'm going to be sharing with you how we tie in our homeschool with an upcoming trip or travel or education while we are on the road. So if you stay until the end, I will share with you my top tip that is very easily missed or not thought about. So I'll share that with you at the end. So I would say first, most importantly, how we tie all of it together seamlessly is there are 2 really good options. The first one would be put together mini units before you go. This is easily done. It doesn't have to be a traditional mini unit that you go out and buy. When I'm talking a mini unit, go to Teachers Pay Teachers. We are going to another country at the end. Well, we're going to 2 countries coming up, but I went to Teachers Pay Teachers and I found some scavenger hunts, activities and stuff to print that were free, that we're going to bring on the airplane with our cousins and all kinds of things. So there are units on Teachers Pay Teachers for relatively cheap. You can go on YouTube and watch some documentaries or fun little history short clips that are specifically tailored to kids. We love those after we do our homeschool day. You can read a book about where you're going, and the 3 easiest curriculum subjects to tie these into would probably be history, science, and art. Those are awesome. When we went to Italy last year, we did a Charlotte Mason picture study, and we did all the Leonardo da Vinci sculptures. We did the sculpture of David. We specifically looked at art before we went. We had a coloring activity book off of Amazon for all the different cities that we were going to in Italy. And that was fun. When we went to France last year, we had coloring books specific to Paris. I mean, there are so many little things that we can do to kind of help tie them in. Books. There are really short books that we can read to kind of enhance and enrich it before we go, so that there is a foundational layout of either history, science, and art, and what that is before they get there, so they have some type of an understanding. We went to a museum of all the, I can't even think of his name. We went to a museum that was done, and it has all like the original scientific objects that were created, and it was hands-on. It was an interactive museum while I think we were in Florence, and that was awesome, and it was really tailored to kids. So it wasn't just a museum that they had to walk around in. So there are things, and that was off the beaten track. Like, that is not one of the top things that they show you to do. So some digging, you can also tie in some really cool things. Another thing you can do is take your schoolwork with you. Rip them out, bring them in tiny little 3-ring binders or folders, and just have your pages with you, and then you can throw them out as you go. So you don't have to stop. If you don't have time to do a break, or you don't want to do a break, just bring it with you, knock it out in the mornings, and then let your family go have fun. Some of the other things that we do to tie in travel and homeschool and balance it all on the road at the same time is, like I said, watch educational videos beforehand or during the trip while you're going. If you have access to internet, watch them while you're going. Watch them while you're there. When we were in Italy, we let our kids watch the cartoons in Italian. So, foreign language immersion. My husband is fluent in Spanish, so some of the words in Spanish and in Italian somewhat sounds similar to other words. It's not spot on, but you can pass. You can make it. Another thing would be sometimes there's just nothing wrong with having a vacation. But if it's a longer trip or it's like a prolonged, plan out your school so that there is a break if you know you're going. So maybe you don't bring your schoolwork with you, but you have stops that correlate with learning along the way. If you're driving, every 2 or 3 hours, if you need to get out, plan it at a park. Plan it near a library. Plan it near an educational something. Is there a state park? Is there a nature center? Is there somewhere outdoors? What type of history? There's history everywhere. So what can you tie in with either science or history or art? A stop along your route. So that ties it in. If you didn't have time to prep it ahead of time, then find something. And a app that we use a lot is Road Trippers. That is great to use. Another thing you can do is give your kids a road map in the car. They're relatively inexpensive. And once you buy one once, it's a reusable item. And that's fun. It's challenging. We don't use road maps anymore because of electronics and technology. But boy, that would be an awesome thing for the family to do. Might bring in a little bit of frustration for the little ones, but everybody has to work together and use teamwork. People have to work through emotions and frustration and a little bit of confusion. So maybe an adult needs to sit in the back and help with the kids, whatever that looks like for your family. But using a roadmap could be a load of fun, and I guarantee you it's going to make a lasting memory that you can either laugh or cry about all together and looking back down the road. Another thing you can do, when you are on an airplane, it will always show you your flight path of what countries you are currently flying over, what countries you are going to be over. There you go. Ties in geography to look at, hey, where are we? Let's look around what countries are near us. What states are we flying over? So that is cool to see your path and where you're going. Okay, are we going north, south, east, west, southwest, northwest, whatever it is. So your coordinates and your states or your countries where you're flying over, as well as if you are in an airplane, it'll tell you the altitude. So how high you are up in the sky. So those little things are great. And those are basic things that are free that your kids are learning. Like there's no way they're not learning while seeing that. And odds are they think it's probably pretty cool. So another thing would be the coloring and activity books. You can find them that go along with what you're doing and where you're going. Sorry, I have to keep clearing my voice. I am at the end of a cold as this cool season came back. So hang in there. Coloring and activity books, they have them for almost any state, even internationally. Again, teachers pay teachers are great for this, especially for little ones that can't read yet. It's just kind of fun and gives them something to do. Or you don't have to do that. You can always run to the dollar store and just pick up a cheap coloring book. But there are coloring and activity books specifically for where you're going. Whether you find it on Amazon, Target, Walmart, the dollar store, teachers pay teachers, it's out there. And it probably is useful. I know that they have a traveling city book for an activity book for older kids for wherever you are on Amazon because we use those all the time. And then another thing is it's really important also to not only focus about the learning, but to remember that to just have fun and connect with your family. I would say the most important thing is to make sure you connect with your family. The most important thing is not always to learn everything at every second of the day. The most important thing is to remember you're there with your loved ones and your family and making memories. Because tomorrow's never promised. You don't know when God's going to call you home. You pray it's not tomorrow. But you're just there spending time with your family and your loved ones having a good time. That is the most important. We do tie in education with almost everything we do and an easy laid back form. but I don't want to sit here and miss the importance of just being present and making those memories and having them to look back on. Honestly, some of the best things that we've done that we didn't even consider is videoing, everything that we're doing, to then go back and to watch them a year, 2 years later. We're like, oh my goodness, pictures are cool that you go back and look through, but there's something about a video that you just remember. It's nostalgic. You just remember the emotions that came with it when you were there. So that's been a really, really cool bonus for our family. Now, as I promised, my easily missed balancing tip would be the math. Like if you're in another country, go to the supermarket, because over there, you need to print out your little sticker before you can go up to the cash register, which we didn't know. It's opposite of the US, but you have to weigh your produce. So now you have your kids doing math, shopping at the foreign grocery store, but when they have to weigh it out, they have to do conversions of weight, because nobody else does it the way the US does it. So they're going to be doing conversions for, kilograms, grams, all of those things. And when they go to pay at checkout, they are going to have to do some currency conversions for whatever currency that wherever you are, they're going to have to try to figure out, hey, if we're paying with cash, okay, this is this means this equates to this, and then like the different words, right, for all of it. So I think it's great. They have to do it's just something you don't think about. We do bring snacks with us from here. We go to Trader Joe's. We get specific snacks that we only bring on international trips. It's like our fun day of shopping, but we never bring enough. We always go to the local grocery store the day after, and we get some of the local food. 1, because it's cheaper. 2, we don't have to bring it on luggage. And 3, is always going to probably be healthier than what is in the US, and we're big with that. But our kids run in, they get to do weight conversions, they get to do currency conversions right there. Boom, math for the day. And it was real hands-on math that they need and will use in their life. So we are exactly, that is our learning style. So and the kids, it's hands-on. It's visual and it's hands-on. So it's just a really cool way that we have learned that you don't really think about, nor do you really like plan for those things of like, hey, that's math. But I think it's easily missed, but it's a great opportunity to see like what are the locals eating. And a lot of the times it's cheaper than going out to restaurants every day. So it's really just an all well-rounded. Saves you money, lets the kids be hands-on, lets the kids learn math. It's really just a wonderful tip that I think is easily missed, but it is a staple in our family's travel. So to close this out, I do think that thinking ahead and planning adequately will kind of allow naturally for a healthy and fun balance of travel and education on the road. I think there's a multitude of things that you can do that ties it in, and depending on your family style and what your schedule looks like, it can be relatively easily done. I will try to look at Teachers Pay Teachers, and when we announce all the things that we're going to do, I will show you what I have on Teachers Pay Teachers and print out some extras for some of the cousins that are coming with our kids on this trip. So I think these are all really easy, doable ways to help balance your travel and education without just leaving one or the other, especially if you're worried about having a break. You can have a break while do these things naturally in your schedule without it feeling like learning. You can also strategically tie in learning on your stops, where you're going. And then sometimes everybody needs a break, and you just need to have a vacation and sit at the beach and not learn anything, but I'm sure they'll learn something along the way. So thanks for watching, and I hope that any of these tools were helpful and useful, and that you can use these with your family, even just going on a small little road trip down the road. So thanks for watching. Bye.